this was a great morning of discussions, starting at the general nature of what is resilience, and then bringing it down to what that means at community levels, and then putting back together a federal perspective. Resilience has to be something that comes from, flows from, and is enabled by every level of our society. Each level doing something different. As Thad Allen said this morning, at the federal level, the strategic intent, some clarity, and appropriate policies that enable, that remove barriers, that make it possible for communities to organize, plan, prepare, and respond in the flexibly adaptive ways that the diverse set of disasters that may affect us really require. At NOAA, we play an interesting role across the resilience spectrum. The way I like to characterize it is our primary mission, the one we're probably best known for, the providing of weather forecasts. That really is some of the essential environmental intelligence that we need, certainly when it comes to natural disasters, but even, frankly, when it comes to some aspects of man-made disasters. So in the aftermath of Deepwater Horizon, you saw, for example, this understanding of the planet, of our oceans, of our atmosphere, of our coastal zones, that is what NOAA provides to the federal family. You saw that really actively in play in terms of giving us an ability to forecast, to have some foresight, some prediction about how will the oil behave, where will it go, what beaches are impacted, all the way down to, gosh, is seafood in the Gulf safe to eat now? So that span of questions that we face as a society in the train of any given severe event or disaster really takes an integrated, boundary-spanning, transdisciplinary array of environmental intelligence products and information. And that, to me, is the essence of what NOAA does. Across that whole front, from the weather forecast to the understanding of how the atmosphere and the ocean work, and all the way down to the living resource consequences. Another really significant thread of today's conversation by all contributors was the really basic lesson of human connections and social connections, and the criticality of their being present and strong and trusted before an event happens. Craig Fugate from FEMA famously says, time of a disaster is a bad place to be handing out your business card. You need to know each other before that. And that goes from the neighborhood level, where we heard a great story of one neighbor helping another who's on a ventilator in New York in the aftermath of Sandy, by literally going up and down 20 flights of stairs to take one battery for the ventilator to get it charged and bring it back. When a big event happens, the first responders are not the several hundred badged people or the several thousand FEMA people. We're our own first responders. Your neighbors are your first responders, the people down the street. So knowing each other, having some trust in each other is critically important from that most simple of levels all the way up to the command posts at state or federal levels, where decisions have to be made that violate all the boundaries of normal decision making and have to be as right as possible, as sound as possible, right at the get-go. We know this lesson pretty well in NOAA from the challenge of trying to have communities that we serve with our weather forecasts understand the forecast, know the source of the forecast, and really trust that source so well that the message that's being sent is heard clearly. You read each other well. And so we have a position in our weather forecast offices called warning coordination meteorologists, whose job almost is the social science work of meeting the emergency managers, knowing the mayor, knowing the governor, understanding how do I best convey, not how do I mail to you a weather forecast, how do I best convey to you the really important information about an event that's coming down to your community, the tornado outbreak that might be happening, the hurricane that's approaching your shore. How do I make sure that you know me well enough, you hear me well enough, my language is clear, all of that together. Because our forecast, valuable environmental intelligence, though it may be, only gains that value if it connects to the needed audiences and triggers in a timely fashion a response that protects lives and livelihoods. That, at the end of the day, is what it's all about. And in the aftermath of an event, having the capacity to speed recovery and response as effectively as possible.